So I'm now going to go through Hotjar and talk you through some of the different features of Hotjar too. So it's really great because we can start to analyze how your users are interacting with your pages. So once you've actually created your heat maps within this section, you can actually then come onto this page and just click and start to see where they've interacted. So first of all, the device section here. So this is desktop, tablet, and mobile. So this already gives us a bit of insight to, because what we're realizing here is that majority of users are using mobile. And because they're using mobile, that means that as a business owner, as an agency yourself, or however it is that you're operating, you should always be designing your sites mobile first if your users are using mobile as their primary device. So if you outsource the design part or anything like that, you should always be making sure they focus on the mobile user experience, then desktop, then tablet. So you do it in that order. So that already gives us a little bit of information. And here we're actually going to be able to see how they're tapping the actual screen and how they're scrolling. So we're getting a lot of statistical information from using heat maps. So what we actually are doing when we're actually looking at heat maps, we're wanting to establish the different types of behaviors that the users are doing on the page. And then from that data, we'll then make those decisions on what we need to do next and how we need to improve the website or how we need to improve our sales funnel or landing page. Because so many of us make changes based upon our own personal assumptions and what we think. And this isn't necessarily the best way to do it because we don't actually know for sure if it's going to make much difference in terms of the engagement on the page, the user experience, or the conversion rates. So when we're actually just making an assumption on what we would like to change in the website, we're operating at high risk. And because we're operating at high risk, we could actually do some damage to the website and actually decrease conversion rates. So we could have a negative impact on the site, which is not what we want to do. So any changes that you ever make to your website or digital product, you should always base your amendments upon data. So there are different ways to actually do this. You've got Heatmaps, which is what we're showing now. We've got Google Analytics, and we've got things like user feedback, customer feedback. So if we find like 100 customers are saying a certain thing, then we know that we should change it. So on here, we're just going to focus at this moment in time on heat maps and how to analyze these. So when we're on the tap, we can see on a mobile device where the user is tapping on the screen and what they're tapping on. So we can see here that the mobile menu is something that they're tapping on. We can see that people are tapping to get rid of this small promo banner. Could that be telling us people aren't interested? People think it's getting in the way. We're also telling us that actually people are clicking on the link, which is great. Maybe because it's a different color to the rest of the text, that it's intriguing people, maybe because it's saying the word free. And we're also learning here that on these images, we're learning what products are a little bit more popular. And we're also learning that majority of the users are wanting to click on the actual image as opposed to actually clicking on the text below it. So as you can see, as we're going down the page, we're getting so many insights into what our users are doing. And these insights can lead to data-driven decisions. We also see that people are clicking on the social icons. Now, my question here is, as a business, do you want to encourage users to come to your social channels because there is the option for them to follow you and to do some more learning about your company? Or do you feel that people actually clicking on social media is having a disadvantage to your business, because at this moment in their journey, if they're on this shop page, they're scrolling down, do you want to lose customers to social media? So my advice is always to keep customers on your page, because once they've actually gone to social media, you've essentially lost them. And once you've actually lost them, you can't then track that journey. So what I would prefer to do is to have a solution that enables you to capture your users' data even if they don't buy anything. And once you capture that data, you can then encourage them to actually join social media channels and improve your user experience on getting them to complete your form or whatever it is, or opt-in or lead magnet, whatever it is you're offering them to in exchange for an email address. And then at that point, direct them to different social channels so they can learn more about you, rather than lose them to social media at this early stage. We also are seeing here that many people are clicking on the terms section in the footer. What is it telling us? Do people not trust us? Are people a bit worried? All these kind of things. We're still making some assumptions, but we're making assumptions based upon data. So what we can do at this point is we might want to decide, right, actually, to take this one step further and to really understand why this is happening, we need to interview some people. We need to do some one-to-one interviews remotely or face-to-face, and to really understand how users are using the actual platform itself. So next I'm going to go to scroll. So anything that is red, that means that is a hot section. Your users, if they're going to click on anything, most of them are going to click on that top bit. As you can see on this right hand side, anything that goes to blue and grey is cold. But isn't this interesting? Only 75% of users reached that point before even getting down to anything. 50% of users got to this point, and only 25% of users got to this point. So how can we improve the experience to get more people, to get these 75% of people scrolling down to this point? And that is all down to the user experience. What can we put in this top section to make them scroll down? So this text section here, is it really worth having this text section here? Do people want to see that? If they want to shop, do they just want to get to the images straight away? We're now starting to analyze and trying to understand what our users are doing. And this is why heat maps are really great. Heat maps alone don't give you all the data, but heat maps combined with Google Analytics, combined with some user research, combined with surveys, is all different types of things that you should be doing. So my advice would always to be work on one page at a time, improve that page, and then see how the conversion rates improve on your actual website. What's really great as well with Hotjar is that you can actually look at people's recordings of actually being on the site. So this is really great, because I'm just going to click onto this one here. It doesn't show you any sound or anything. You can speed it up if you need to. And it actually shows you what they're doing. So you can pretend that you're in the mind. So pop-up happens straight away. They just clicked off it, not interested. Maybe it's coming too soon. So now how can we improve the pop-up? Maybe we need to put a delay on the pop-up. Maybe the pop-up's not that interesting, and that's why they clicked off it. Testimonials, spent a bit of time on testimonials. That the GIF is really interactive. They're reading, great. So we're starting to see what people are doing. They're clicking images. So as you can see, the recordings are a really great way to look at how people are actually analysing your site as from a user perspective, and now we can analyse their site from a business perspective. So work page by page. Maybe create a Word document of the insights that you're finding. So go to the home page and then cross-check everything with the different platforms that you're analysing information off. So Google Analytics and Heatmaps. And then also maybe do a survey about the homepage. As we've said earlier, you can offer incentives to get people to actually complete that survey or questionnaire, because when you start to do that, you're gathering data. Data allows you to make decisions which are low risk, which means when you make the changes and when you spend money developing your site, you have that validation that we know that this is going to be a positive impact on the website. Whereas a lot of people go in blindly thinking, oh, I'm just going to change this. I think it would be better if we do this or that or that. And that's not the way to update a website. So I hope that's been helpful. Using the heat maps and the recordings alone is the basics that I teach you and gives you enough information to make educated decisions. But Hotjar has many more features within this actual platform that you can actually use to enhance the user experience, the conversion rates, and engagement levels. I hope that was helpful.